Well, I really don't know where to begin today's broadcast, other than the fact that as long as we have Democrats in charge, especially at the executive office and in Congress, we're going to have a lot of trouble here in the United States of America. And quite frankly, we're dead as a country. We are literally dead as a country. What I have to show you, I can't even believe I'm going to say some of the things out of my mouth that I'm going to tell you, but I think you're going to be really shocked. I mean, some of these policies are even shocking for Democrats, but these are the ones who are really pushing these kinds of things through. And, Lord help us in 2024. God, I really hope things change. But for starters, I've got about 6 articles here that I want to show you that are absolutely stunning. The first one here is, of course, by New York Times, right? They're a Democrat operative, if there is any to call that. They're more liberal, left-based mainstream media company. And here's their article that they put out back in August, not that long ago, August 2023. And it's headlined, "Elections Are Bad for Democracy." They're literally saying we shouldn't have an election anymore. This is a Democrat idea, right? And they think this is okay, right? It goes on to say, well, if you think that sounds anti-democratic, they said, think again. The ancient Greeks invented democracy, and in Athens, many government officials were selected through sortition, a random lottery from a pool of candidates. In the United States, we already use a version of a lottery to select jurors. What if we did the same thing with mayors, governors, legislators, justices, and even presidents? We just randomly have them picked. This is what Democrats are literally vouching for now. That's their opinion piece. But they're literally talking about dismantling our entire election. And hey, let's just have some kind of lottery-ish like system. Again, I told you, this is shocking. Now, here's an even more shocking one, all right, on a total different subject. But if Democrats have their way, these are the policies that they want to put through, these very far left-leaning people. This one here is on the Washington Free Beacon. I want you to see it. And it's Portland School District workshops equitable grading practices that outlaw zeros for cheating and missing work. All schools in Portland's system are expected to implement the new guidelines by 2025. And this is exactly what they're doing, right? The article goes on to state this. Portland Public Schools is working on new equitable grading practices that bar teachers from assigning zeros to students who cheat or fail to turn in assignments. It goes on. The district's initiatives aims to address racial disparities and inequities in grading and instruction, a journey that the district began during the pandemic. A handout reviewed by Washington Free Beacon says, grading for equity, the handout states, includes eliminating zeros as grades, even when a student cheats or fails to turn in a test or assignment. It also calls for no penalties for late work and no grades for both homework and non-academic factors such as participation, attendance, effort, attitude, and behavior. They're really for real. And they're planning on this being implemented there in the Portland Public Schools by 2025. At least this is their agenda and what they're vouching for. I mean, really. No zeros if you turn something in late. No, you can't really criticize their attitudes. I mean, hey, if I was a kid, I'd be like, I ain't turning anything in late. I don't even have to do my homework anymore. A teacher can't give me a zero. And attendance, why even go to school? It doesn't even matter. You don't get a negative grade or negative points in any way, shape, or form for not attending school. This teaches kids that it's okay to basically do whatever without consequences whatsoever. I mean, as long as Democrats and far left liberals are running things, this is the kind of policies we are literally getting. You want to know what that will do to our schools? And if you live in Portland, I'm so sorry. Now is the time to get the hell out. Excuse me, but get the hell out of there. The city has went full-blown liberal crazy. And there's a lot of those. Come on over to Arizona or Texas or Florida. Some of these, we're a little purple here in Arizona, but hopefully not for long. But, you need to get out of those areas and states that are implementing these kinds of idiotic, ludicrous policies. Zeros? I mean, that's what I'm telling you. I can't even believe I'm saying this stuff. What kind of mentality is that going to change for our children? Speaking of schools, did you know that there was a school a school that actually hired a Satan worshiper? And because they were confronted finally by the school district, they decided, hey, we're going to go ahead and let go of this Satan worshiper, but only because they were confronted. Here it is, dailycaller.com. School board fires teacher after parents complain about Satan worship. Social media post. And that was in Illinois. Another rather liberal area. Here's another one for you, right? Over in Pennsylvania, they're wanting to now implement a 4-day work week. Well, that sounds great. And there's other countries that do that, right? Hey, I want 4 days a week, and let's just take, 3-day weekend. That's fabulous. The problem with this new proposed 4-day work week is they're telling the companies, well, you're going to give them a 4-day work week and you're still going to pay them for 5 days. Now, I have an issue with that. Take a look here. This is on Fox29.com. 4-day work week proposed for Pennsylvania workers with this new bill. A new bill to create a 4-day work week is about to be introduced in the Pennsylvania legislature. Now, this was published as of August 21st, right? But it goes on to state that it would require businesses with more than 500 employees to reduce their work week from 40 to 32 hours a week. However, less work hours will not mean less pay. So what does that mean? Well, in liberal talk, all that liberals see, because they're not the smartest bunch, is, hey, I only have to work for 4 days out of the week and my pay stays the same. Hallelujah. I'm in. Sounds great. Well, let's think about this. What happens after that? Right? So if that does happen, sounds great. What's going to happen when you force the businesses to still pay you a full 5-day work week, but they're not getting services for that? Well, I know. Whatever product they're selling is going to go sky high. Right? You say you got a Walmart there and you only got so many days you got to work or whatever, your 4-day work weeks. Well, now I still have to pay you more. I've got to pass that price increase on. So who does the price increase go to? It goes to all the food products or the services, whatever it is, the Fortune 500 or the 500 employee company or over, whatever they're offering. If it's cars or food or cotton balls or whatever. It's going to cause the product to skyrocket to recoup that. Those who lead corporations don't suck up the difference on that. They pass it on to whoever's buying the product. This isn't a good idea unless, right, you want to just pay them to work 4 days a week, right, to cut it down to a 4-day work week. I mean, there's a lot of crazy stuff. I mean, Democrat policies are always weird. Hey, let's just give free things out. And Democrats and libertarians actually think they're getting free stuff, and nothing's free. I just want to say that. Here's another crazy thing that's happening over in Seattle, another liberal city. Fox News, Seattle starts hiring unarmed alternative response teams to respond to 911 calls. Hey, I got a robber or whatever. Who knows? Well, for some of those calls, we're just going to send this unarmed alternative response. You have a domestic violence situation, 2 people arguing. Hey, let's send this counselor kind of alternative response unarmed to the situation. Welcome to Seattle. Welcome to liberal logic and lunacy. I mean, all of it. You know what really scared me the most? Now, this next article goes back to the COVID-19, pandemic and the pandemic years. It was actually after that. It was 2022, but it was early 2022 in January. The reason that I want to bring it back up is because I want to show you how tyrannical, and this is not all Democrats, right? Not all liberals or whatever, but how tyrannical they really were during this pandemic and how much fear is driving a lot of these Democrats, and again, not all of them, to agree with very harsh penalties and punishments on people. If you think about all the things that I just showed you, from not giving kids zeros to changing the election, saying we don't need to have election, we're just going to do withdrawing, to hiring, Satan worshipers, 4-day work week, same pay. I mean, all these crazy policies that they're implementing and sending basically unarmed counselors in when you call 911. I want to bring this article because I think it really fits in, because it really shows the level and the lengths that they're willing to go to. And this is a Rasmussen poll that was taken, right? And it's COVID-19 Democrat voters support harsh measures against the unvaccinated. And here's what they actually support. And this is, again, a reminder. You may not have seen this. If you're on Restricted Republic, by the way, you have. So make sure you get over there if you're not subscribed there. But here it is. 59% of Democrat voters would favor a government policy requiring that citizens remain confined to their home at all times, except for emergencies, if they refuse to get a vaccine. 59% of Democrats supported that, right? You're not vaccinated, you should just stay locked in your home. Here's 48% of voters think federal and state governments should be able to fine or imprison individuals who publicly question the efficacy of the COVID-19 vaccines on TV, radio, or any of that online publications. 48% of Democrats were okay with that. 45% of Democrats would favor governments requiring citizens to temporarily live in designated facilities if they refuse to get the vaccine. And here's another one. About 2/3 or 66% of likely voters are against governments using digital devices to track unvaccinated people to ensure that they are quarantined or social distance from others. In other words, 1/3 of them supported it. And here is another bombshell, and you just need to see this one. How far are Democrats willing to go to punish the unvaccinated? 29% of Democrat voters would support temporarily removing parents' custody of their children if the parents refused to take the vaccine. Now, what if it was, not the unvaccinated, but maybe disinfo agents? Or those conservatives and Christians who have those bad ideas, right? You see, liberals think of us, we think of liberals as people, right, with bad ideas. And they think of us in completely opposite. If we say anything, it's just, and I've kind of lost my train of thought on that, but liberals do not have a good view of Christians and conservatives, and they think our very what we do will destroy everything. And that's really how they think of us. That's why they're not even willing to debate. And Dan Bongino says it really good, but I'm blanking on exactly how he says it. But the bottom line here is these are very destructive policies. And imagine what's going to happen in another maybe, say, 10 years if Democrats and liberals are still in charge and multiple divisions here in our country. I mean, basically, they've taken over a multitude of industries from Hollywood. They're in charge of Hollywood. They're in charge of these 3-letter agencies. They're now in charge of the executive office, our school boards. And if we continue in this direction, these articles are going to look like a walk in the park compared to what they have planned. That's why I just really want to, encourage you, get involved at a local level, get involved in your kid's school, get involved as a pollster or a precinct committee member. We have to start getting our hands into the pot, so to speak, and making a difference. With that, I just want to encourage you, please get to restrictedrepublic.com. I started this with Justice Night in light of everything that's going on because they're really trying to shut down truth, eternally. Basically, they don't want us saying anything. And one of our ways around that is by going to restrictedrepublic.com, because it's there that I can spread truth and information and tell you legitimately what is going on. We post videos every single day, 5 days a week, exclusive to that platform. So check us out at restrictedrepublic.com and use the coupon code LISA and the number 5 to get it for $5 per month. Anyhow, I love all of you. I'm Lisa Haven, signing out.